Oh, can you guys hear me? Oh yeah. Hello. This is another very low effort video showing you how to just make a really good kick without sampling, because I know people like to sample their hardstyle kicks, and it's just I don't like it when people do that. It sounds unnatural. So the reason why not sampling your kicks is very good is because it sounds more natural. You can automate it, automate the effects that were on it and all that shit, and it's just overall better. It does take up a little bit more CPU, but that's okay. All right. So the first thing you want to do is I literally just did it. You have to make sure you open Patcher. It should be under the Patcher thing here, and if you you got sorry, you might not know how to use Patcher, but it is cool, I guess. So usually the two things you can use as a source, as a starting point, are the bass. Not the bass drum is cool. Actually, there's a third one. There is also the fruit kick. Okay, never mind. You can't use that in here. That's so. I guess it is just two. There are certain plugins that you cannot use in here. Uh, I don't know which ones exactly, but there are a few. And one I like to use is Flex because it has all of the 808s, and you can. Why is it not releasing? Okay, there we go. Why is it not releasing? Okay, I don't know. It's just when I press a key, it's just not stopping for some reason. But it doesn't matter. We're just gonna do this. We're gonna do a bit of this just so we can you know, that. Let's increase the tempo because it's more realistic. Let's do it 180. Okay, so first thing you want to do is you want to get a distortion of some type. The first distortion I normally use is Mistortion 2, because I mean that's the first thing I found when I looked up a tutorial. I don't look up tutorials very often. I just look up one and then I'm yeah. So the Mistortion had an update recently that I didn't even know about until recently, where you can actually just use the key tone or whatever, and that's if I ever made a video about this before, it was just a demonstration, and but there is a little bit of math involved in this because you do need to set some math things up. So this is the first distortion I use. I'll show you what it does. You can increase these and that'll actually distort it. Yo. Yeah, like that. That's just a distortion though. There are things with dynamics that you can use, like OTT. You can put that before distortion here. Like, just mess around with it. I usually don't use the low end too much. Not with the first distortion. Yeah, so you can change shit like that. The next thing you want to put in, this is not necessary, but I find it necessary because of what I like to do. I use something called, or you can use any reverb for this, but I like to use Charm Verb from Melda Audio. Is it going to show up? Oh, I think it's loading. It takes a second to load. My computer's from 2015, so don't mind me. This adds the way this method uses adds a lot of stereo. You gotta make sure these are down. The size can be like, usually I put it at 50 max, and I turn off these things because they kind of, because it's gonna be 100% wet. You don't want these on. So the other thing is the designer. This is one of the most important parts of this, is because it changes the timbre of the stereo and stuff a little bit. But I know it sounds kind of washy right now, but don't worry about that because you're not going to be able to hear that in a second because we're going to distort it even more. So, the distortion I use, the final distortion at least, that I use the most, let's make an empty thing here, is something called aperture. So I don't know exactly how this thing works. I had somebody tell me that it uses the distortion. Is a distortion that uses its own signal to distort it even further. I don't know how that works exactly. I would need to look it up, but I'm just gonna go with that. uh, I need to plug this into here. Yeah, you have to plug everything in manually. These yellow dots are the audio connections. So once you do this, I usually turn this up all the way. I turn this one down to like right here. You gotta like fine tune a little bit. It already, it already sounds like we're getting somewhere. Oh, okay. So the problem with aperture distortion here, is that it's really fucky. It's really weird. It's because there's always an amount of feedback at the end of it. So what I usually do is I take a send and you put this at the end of the entire chain, and you automate the dry. You don't automate volume because for some reason that doesn't do anything. You automate dry instead, and that limits. It's a very hard limit. Like it will, if you turn it down all the way, literally nothing goes through, and that's the point. So we need something to envelope this so that when uh, a note stops playing, that this will go all the way down and you don't hear anything. So that will eliminate all the feedback when there's no notes being played. Uh, if you like the feedback, you can also make it to where it doesn't. Like I like the feedback. I put it in some of my songs. You might hear it. Uh, we use this thing. So you have to output articulator one because there's 8 of them right here. These are all the outputs. You right click the outputs controllers. You have all of these, and make sure this dot is on. You just have one of these for like everything, and make sure this MIDI is plugged in here so it could actually work. Yeah, it has a bit of attack now. I can just. Yeah, like that. Uh, it's pretty loud. I didn't turn my headphones down. I might be blowing my ears out. So, first thing you gotta do for this is you gotta, like, already, it's that easy. Just turn down the decay and the release all the way, make sure the attack is down, and that's it. And then it just instantly cuts. It instantly cuts when you're not playing a note. So, I mean, you can just you can change it by increasing the release. Where the fuck is the please work? Hello, there it is. So you can just make sure there's no feedback, or you can just have it set for an amount of time. As you can see, it is still playing shit because this distortion is just so cursed. Yeah, I know. It sounds pretty bad right now. It's kind of yeah, but I'm gonna show you what this. You can't hear the reverb anymore, but you do know that it's going because watch. Yeah, and the chamber changes a lot, and that's fucking awesome. What else is I gonna say? Okay, so if you want to be able to change the frequency that is boosted by distortion, you can use this thing. So what this is uh, it will change it depending on what key is going into it. But the thing is, this thing cannot be automated unless you are in Patcher, and that's why we are using Patcher right now. Is because you can automate it in Patcher, of course. So what you need is the Fruity keyboard controller. I've been playing with Patcher for a very long time, so I know what I'm doing, and I really wish for some certain features. Hold on. We need to find the parameter. So you have to go into inputs and parameters. You got to find out which one is for that for this knob. And it actually changes depending on whether this is on or off. So you have to look for tone key, not tone key, because those are two separate things. Why is this on? Okay. And if you look in the top right, it says tone key up there, and you can output the controller's note for the keyboard controller, and then connect it there. And it's gonna be kind of weird because the range is limited here, but it actually spans 10 octaves, so you can use all 10 octaves on this thing. So you just left click and then you drag it all the way to each side. So the thing is, all of these are set to either high or low or 0, because we haven't changed all of it yet. You have to auto map it, automatic black and white, so all of the keys, it transitions between notes like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You see what I mean. I can't really describe it very well. Not like, I don't have a script for this. Auto map. Oh, I already did that. Okay. Then you'll see that it changes. And you see that it changes. Because it's exactly 10 octaves. That's what that's what FL Studio supports, and as far as I know. So yeah, you did that. But the thing is, you can just change the pitch manually. Like, you can just shift it and make it not match the pitch that it would normally have by using I forgot where it was. It was in Patcher. Yeah, it was Keymapper. It was this thing. So use this, you take off the MIDI for that, and then you put this inside instead. You did, and you hear that it does change a little bit. So there's that. There's other ways to change it though that I like to use, but this is the most simple way to do it. I usually use I did not mean to open that. Get out of here, stop it. I usually use the Fruity Formula controller, this thing, because it allows you to change the exact math of everything, and you can change it not between just only 2 octaves, like as it says here. You can change it between, I don't know, like 4 or as many octaves as you want, if you know how to set it up right. But I don't feel like doing math today, so we're not doing that. Get out of here. Ugh. I feel gross. What was I doing? Oh yeah, we need to do some more dynamics and shit. There's a lot of stuff. I recently thought, I think about this shit daily. I thought of using Camel Crusher for some of the dynamics here. I'm gonna try that right now, just live experiments. Because there is a compressor that is very simple and works very well for kicks and stuff. It's by Camel Audio. You might have heard of them before because they, back in, Logic Pro, like the full version of GarageBand that's on Mac, they made Alchemy one of their most complex synth. I hate Alchemy. It's very laggy and shit. I don't know, but they're the ones who made this. They made this a long time ago. And the best thing about plugins is that no matter how old they are, they still work. It's fucking amazing. What was I gonna do? I totally forgot. Oh, we are gonna add another OTT. I don't care about Camel Crusher right now. We'll do whatever later. OTT. We can add one right here. And you can see how fucking how much the timbre changes just from playing with OTT. It's ridiculous, and you can even play with I don't think I could speak while the kicks are playing because it might be too loud. It might be muffling my voice, so I'm trying not to speak at the same time. I'll show you. I forgot which way it goes because I didn't play with it enough, but. Oh yeah, another thing I didn't mention, the complexity, it does have a, depending on the complexity, it does have a very strong effect on your CPU. So I usually don't set it past like 20 because it is pretty laggy. So delay order, I'm pretty sure just through observation of how this works and some of the terms that are here. So I'm pretty sure this creates multiple instances of the reverb. Like in this case, it's 20 instances, and they're all all have a small amount of delay, and they're all played on top of each other with a certain amount of delay. So the delay order, it just determines the order of each of these instances, I believe. I'm not completely sure. I'm just this is just observation here. All right, that's it about for that. There's a lot of things you can change here with distortion as well. I mean, of course. Hang on, let me try. So there, this is a very raw kick right now. If I would have to show you how to. We could just open my past preset. This is I actually lost the preset that I had in the video because I uninstalled a while ago. This looks kind of funny. I know there's a bass drum and a distortion here, but this is just an optional attack. Like if you want to have a secondary attack, that's another thing about Patcher is you can just do shit like that. You can just cut the main part off using Fruity Envelope, and then have the attack play first, and then it turns up the actual kick. Yeah, so that's what this is. I have a Maximus here just to process everything, because why not? I mean, I could just add that in the chain in here, but why would I do that? Why would I put that in the mixer? I have a Patcher open. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what that is. Here I actually did the thing that I said I would. Didn't want to do math for because I totally forgot how to do the math. I didn't forget. I just didn't feel like doing it. So what it is this is the amount the dial has to turn for the amount, because it's actually 0 to 1. That's the amount of parameters you have, and there's a lot of digits in between, of course. So all I did was take. I subtracted the value here from the value on this key, one semitone down, and then I pasted it into here. I know it says divided by 12, but I think I just subtracted one octave from another. Don't worry about that. And then I multiplied it by whatever amount, and then by B, which is how many semitones you want to move it, of course. And that's, I don't know, whatever. So I what I sometimes aperture can get out of hand, and if you don't feel like dealing with the sheer amount of volume or signal that you're dealing with, I usually use ribbon because it puts a pretty hard limit while just keeping and adding a slight bit of more distortion. So yeah, this sounds a little bit more refined than the kick that we had earlier, but so I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. What are we doing? Oh, yeah, that's a kick. That's how I make a kick. That's it. That's all. Bye.